Hello everyone, it's Gosia Skarha here, visibility coach. I have with me today amazing guest, Owen, right?
Hi everyone.
Hello, guys, today we'll be talking about something extremely important and we do believe that so many of you can resonate with. People pleasing, how huge topic, but before we crack on and we tell you how to break through it and our stories and how really start to creating this more empowered version of you who is just free of, thinking that what other people can think of you and judgment. I want to invite few people. So if you watch on the replay, just you can basically skip the first probably 30 seconds because I'm just inviting people as we are.
Get Dan on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good old Dan.
Yeah, it's quite many already.
Good old Kirk.
Absolutely everyone.
So basically you're just doing everybody, aren't you? Yeah.
Okay, oh my god. It's quite, no, absolutely. Yeah, we just because I don't think I did this, or maybe I did, okay. So you guys, we are back. You can skip, if you're on the replay, you can skip first 30 seconds because we were inviting people, but Cheryl, welcome, nice to have you here.
Hey Cheryl.
Yeah, so guys, we are, like I said, we are talking today about people pleasing and how this is really something that we don't really do in our lives because it's very restrictive and can hold us back really big time. But yes, Owen, tell us who you are because that's my super, amazing guest.
Hi everyone, Owen here, aka the Boff Man, and I'm the founder director of the World Health Heroes, who Gosia is part of.
Yes.
And you set me a challenge this morning, didn't you?
Yes, but first tell us what you are doing. Your World Health Heroes.
Oh yeah, actual World Health Heroes. Yeah. So basically, we're building teams in every city of wellbeing practitioners to eventually be able to create what we call the foundation, which will be essentially the NHS for complementary health. So the company will pay for people most in need to have the therapies that they need to change their lives. Really. So it's a really exciting time in my life and all of our heroes as well.
Really exciting. Very excited to be a hero in the hero land.
Yeah, hero land.
Yeah, so let's talk people pleasing. But before we talk people pleasing, mention what you said to me. Just 1 hour ago. What did you say?
In relation to this top, you mean?
Yes.
Generally?
For example.
So Gosia set me a challenge this morning to wear something that would make me feel how I want to feel, not how I actually feel. So I have a range of things in my wardrobe that I really like to wear, but become a bit body conscious. I just don't wear them, and I've gained a little bit of weight. So I tend to wear black all of the time and really baggy clothes, which is never a good start. So she set me a challenge to wear something that would make me feel, I guess, more empowered, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I've got my grey top that I used to wear on dates back in the day. And just walking down the street along the waterfront, I was like, oh yes, this is my top. Walking down the street, feeling a little bit stronger. It sounds super cheesy, but it's really effective. It is really effective. You feel a little bit better in your skin. You're just going to walk better, have better posture, and just feel a bit more empowered, really.
Yeah. No, absolutely. This is just to mention that this is really powerful, clothes and how you. How they can really transform your perception. But what we really want to talk about today is, it's a huge, I think, problem these days, people pleasing. I don't know if any of you guys can resonate with, for example, you walk down the street, okay, and when you pass someone by, you just think in your head about what they may think right now about you. So, for example, maybe I remember from my own experience when I was always had a problem with wearing short skirts because my mom was always telling me that no, skirts are for your sister, you stick with trousers. So I was always trying to prove that no, I can do it. So whenever I was wearing the short skirt, it was just thinking that, oh my God, what are they thinking right now? Am I looking ridiculous? Is this, am I just how am I looking? But mainly, what they are thinking about me right now. So guys, if any of you can resonate, whether that's guys wearing, maybe not skirts, but something basically, if this, what is
with guys, it tends to be you compare yourself to other guys. That's what you do. You know, they're more muscly than me, or they're in better shape. I mean, it's classic guy behaviour, isn't it? You're always going to think about that stuff.
Okay.
But I'm classic for that street thing. Walking down the street and then thinking obviously about that. So wearing this was a bit intense because I was like, oh God, because I think I'm fat even though I'm not. So do they think I'm chubby? What's this? Why do they look at me that way? They probably just, the eye line was just there. But it's exhausting. If you go on a long walk, that's exhausting stuff.
It's exhausting to think just constantly about what other people right now may think about you, and I think this is basically people pleasing, right? Because if you think about that, if you didn't think about what other people think about you right now, I think the life would be so much easier, and also like you would enable yourself to just be yourself and feel more free and you know. So yeah, how do you find? Yeah, I know you have like the big story, but can you tell me like how do you find this, or how do you try at least to manage this process if you are trying? Or how does this affect, maybe this way, because I think many people can resonate definitely with people pleasing and trying to, maybe let's say I say a little bit of my story and then I wonder what is yours. So for a very long time, especially in my 20s when I was working in this kind of financial company, I would, you know, dress to build my worth. So I would just like always dress so that I would expect the compliments and what other people think about me, and it's just like really totally building worth and everything from wrong way, from wrong side. And what actually happened is that I realized that I give all my control to someone else's, like to other people basically, right? And guys, if you can resonate with, you know, just giving this control to other people, just give us some comments, because this is such an important topic. So yeah, so what happens actually with time is that I realized that I am actually sabotaging myself really in the process, because instead of really focusing on who I am, or what's amazing about me, and really building worth based on, you know, like who I am, I was literally building this kind of personality and everything based on, you know, what other people think. And it is, I don't know, but I think it is this is very difficult thing to, you know, it's just difficult maybe like this to live like this, because the quality of life is just really bad. And I don't know if it's, how does it affect you?
I think a lot of the time with stuff like this is what are you scared of? It's always fear. Come on, when human beings, there's always a fear behind it. So for my people pleasing, it's a fear of what would happen if they did think that. Mm-hmm. So I'm avoiding the fear. So by dressing down, I avoid the situation happening and leading to what I'm perceiving to be them thinking less of me, say. So from my bullying in school, because I was bullied for my weight, that's where my issue comes from. Yeah. And they did it enough times that I felt that I was fat, even when I wasn't, because they've got into my head. So this issue I have with weight is being caused by that. Yeah. And I know that, but I'm still falling into the trap of thinking I'm fat when I'm not. Because it is ridiculous, because I'm not. But when I put clothes on, I'm looking at it going, no, chubby bits, this and this. And it's a shame, isn't it? What a shame that is, that I'm not able just to pop a top on and go, yeah, let's go, rather than changing it 5 times. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, guys? Yes, I must say that I definitely managed to come out of this trap, this prison, because that's a mental prison, really. And the way I did this is that the pivotal moment in my life was when I decided to reach out for help and went for like NLP coaching, like 3 months coaching, which was transformational. But what it actually really enabled me to see is that, like, I would normally compare myself heavily to other women. So if I saw a woman looking just as stylish, just as cool, you know, like me, at that time, I would instantly feel insecure. I would feel that she is just taking all my light. She is just like, I don't know, but I felt that I am instantly just worse. And that was really bad, because I couldn't enjoy my day, even though, you know, I could, you know, like really look good and stuff. And it was really draining. It became almost like obsession, that I was like so much like analyzing, you know, what to wear maybe tomorrow, and, you know, to impress, and all this stuff. And it was, and I think NLP coaching really helped me see my own beauty. But first, instead of comparing myself to other women, I actually started to see beauty in them, and that was big shift, you know.
Yeah.
So instead of like thinking like what other person may think of me, or, you know, if I am just as, you know, good or stuff like this, I basically started to. I remember this one day when I was waiting at the bus stop, and I saw just the woman like passing by, and normally I would right away compare myself and judge her. That one day I remember I literally looked at her, and I just saw literally the beauty in her. Like, I didn't judge, I didn't compare, I just understood that that's her light, that's my light, and what she thinks of me or what I think of her, it's got like nothing to do with, you know, just like, you know, being who you really are. And I think that was for me the biggest thing. And what followed from this was that just by seeing beauty in other people, I could embrace and celebrate who I actually am. It's very difficult to explain, but that happened. You know, you build the worth on the inside so much. You start to see that, oh my God, I am actually, you know, just unique and amazing person on this planet. And what other people are doing, that's none of my business. It's just like, what are they thinking right now when I am passing them on the street is none of my business. I just don't give a damn, because like I am on my own lane, I'm doing my own stuff. If I can do anything, I can only compliment them, adore them, because that's what I am able to do now. I was never able just to say like, oh my God, you look amazing, like absolutely amazing. Where did you get this dress or whatever? I would be like, I would not tell you in compliment, because it you know. So I think just to go through it and just have this mindset of, I am just owning who I am, finally, just owning and just seeing my worth, and that's huge. The self-worth is the key to stop people pleasing, because you don't fear rejection, because you appreciate and feel yourself so much. You don't rely on anyone to approve you, because you have self-approval within. I don't know how it sounds to you, but it is deep. But that's the only way I can explain it. Guys, a few of you watching us, Emma, thanks so much for joining, and Lynette. Give us some comments like, yeah, what do you think about this? Are you comparing yourself to other people? Do you think that you still, you know, do some like people pleasing, so you know, rely on what other people tell you, and then it kind of makes you feel better about you? Or do you actually feel that you are more just, you know, you don't have this ballast, this, you know, charge? Let us know. Yeah, what do you think?
The key thing to think about, especially with self-worth and belief, is comparison is the killer of joy. It's very hard to have a joyful life if you're comparing.
Yeah.
And if you remove comparing from your mindset, it will open up a whole other world for you, because you're not ever then basing or judging yourself on somebody else's stuff, whether it's a job or their partner or even interests, like hobbies. Some people get a bit funny about other people's hobbies. Oh, they're cooler than me because they rock climb and I only do knitting or something. It doesn't matter, and comparison will just ruin everything. And the biggest one for me with people pleasing, what I struggle is comparison. So I'll compare myself to other men or other people, because I'm a massage therapist, so compare myself to other massage therapists, but in a very unhealthy way. So they're better than me at massage, rather than looking at what I offer to massage. So prime example, I'm a deep tissue therapist, but I always finish my sessions with holistic stuff at the end, so they feel really great up here as well in their body. But other therapists will just do deep tissue, and that's still good. Okay. But I offer something different, offer something different to the table, so I should enjoy and embrace all the things that I do that are different and make me special, rather than compare myself to the regimented way that you should be. So men should be really muscly and have low body fat and be cool and have good hair.
Yeah.
but there's someone else that's got something else that they don't have.
Yeah, I think it is, like, if there are any entrepreneurs right now listening, I think you can definitely resonate and agree, yes? So in business the same, like, you would very often think that you compare yourself to other people who are doing the same with you in your business, other personal trainers or stylists and stuff like this. But actually, if we can embrace the kind of uniqueness in business, because we all know messages that you are unique in business, even if you do the same stuff with someone else on the market, people buy from you because of you, because your unique edge, because your personality, and because of you basically. So why can't we just embrace the same concept on a personal level? So why can't we just think that, well, yeah, there are many more beautiful. I think, what was also very life-changing was that I realized that I'm not the most beautiful person, and there are more beautiful women and less beautiful than me. There always will be. There will always be better, So it is, at the end of the day, it's just don't care, there will always be, other people. And you need to focus just on your lane, just on your uniqueness, personally, just take the same concept from business. Why we understand this concept in business, right, guys? And we don't necessarily apply it in a personal life. Are there any people who actually compare themselves? That would be great So Lynette says, this is one of my goals at the moment, working on self-worth for me. It is proving to be an ongoing process to self-validate yourself each day. Yes, Lynette, thanks so much, lovely, for your comment. Yes, it is definitely a journey, because self-worth is part of self-love, right? Which is the practice, rather than just you suddenly wake up. But I think can we give some sort of tips or how to at least break through this people pleasing? I don't know.
I think it's doing something every day that kind of makes you proud. It can be super small as well. I give you a prime example of my journey, which kind of nails it.
Yeah.
So, 2.5 years ago, really struggled to communicate with people. I did quite well with my business, I suppose, but really low self-esteem, not much self-respect, really. Addicted to exercise, because that was the one thing that would make me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
And then fast forward. To today, about 2 years later, I now run a UK-wide company with 130 members and 97 health practitioners. And I go out every day to have one-to-ones with people to tell them about the business and bring them into my company. So I've gone from not having a company at all and having no self-respect to building what will essentially be a UK-wide company. And yet I'm still working on my self-worth.
Yeah.
And like you said, interestingly enough, I can pop down to pitch and piano, do a one-to-one, they sign up, we connect really well, and they're just fantastic people, a friend for life, I'm sure. And then I'll go home, I'll lie in my bed and turn all my Wi-Fi off. And in that moment, I'm like, who am I? What's this life about? So I still overthink quite a lot, but in the right moments, you're able to embrace who you really are. So once you know what those things are, do them every day. They empower you, don't they? Those special moments. I've never felt pride until I built this company because of my self-esteem problems. This is the first time I've ever felt proud in my life, and it's really exciting. It feels amazing, and you need that in your life. It could be something really small, really, really small.
I think what I've learned is, absolutely. I think vulnerability is really huge for me, because that's the place where it is the core of fear, insecurity and stuff, but at the same time, as probably Brené Brown would say, it is the birthplace of love and belonging for yourself, you know what I mean? So I love that you, for example, you are out there giving people a platform to do TV shows, and I'm excited about the upcoming one, but also that you are a speaker and you actually put yourself that you are visible, you are actually vulnerable, because visibility is the place of vulnerability at the end of the day. And I think this also can help people grow and go through this people pleasing with time. What did you say?
Well, yeah, you can't grow if you're just in the same place, obviously. And they say that about sowing the seeds. Your flower won't grow if you don't water it. So you have to do things. They say come out of your comfort zone and do things that scare you, and I try and do that every single day.
Yeah.
So I've got my first speaking gig coming up at the end of the month. I'm quite scared about it. My first proper keynote. Oh my god! But I just couldn't do it. Just get on with it. People procrastinate too much and they worry about stuff. I remove that from my life. I remove procrastination. So if I've got an idea for something, I write it down and just get on with it. And that's now why I have a company. Because one day I had an idea in my head and I wrote it down, and then here we are. It's because I made a conscious choice to not worry about what could go wrong, which is brilliant within the business world, like we said earlier, but then stick me in a personal situation, so me socially with friends in a pub, that's a whole other ball game than me being in a business scenario. So there's lots of learning to happen, isn't there, in different walks of life. And then dating, well, that's a whole other thing again.
Tell me more.
First dates are interesting, aren't they? If you watch First Dates on Channel 4, you know that, because it's just so fascinating to watch people kind of put a bit of a mask on, really. I haven't dated for about 4 years, but when I used to, it was like a bit of a show, really. I was kind of like saying what I know they would want to hear, so I get the nice guy thing at the end, but that's because I was playing the nice guy. I wasn't lying, like, in a bad way, but it was so fascinating that I did it that way. But how soulless that future would have been with that person if it wasn't based on this pure, honest connection and no judgment. Have you got a friend that you can think of that there's no judgment in your life?
But he's not judging.
No judging from either side. It's like a real... Because I have some friends who I know don't judge me at all. Would never think ill of me, and I don't of them. What an amazing friendship that is. Because there's no people pleasing there, there's no comparison. It's a wonderful thing. If you think about those people, then you can probably build more relationships like that.
Yeah, I think that's good that you are saying about this. I think there are many ways you actually can at least... create this resourceful mindset, which is mindset free of people pleasing. And definitely the easiest way is just like make sure, or at least examine like the people that you are really spend time with, because they can really drag you down, I tell you what. Because if you spend time around people who are judgmental, who always just pinpoint what you should be doing better, then it is not going in the end to empower you, to make you grow and make you actually step out of the comparison. So I think that's very important. But I think just dropping this comparison and trying to find ways of doing it, I think I must agree with you. I think that's the biggest thing. That was the biggest issue for me, always.
If you remove comparison from your mindset, your life will profoundly change. As simple as that.
Absolutely.
It's the one thing, it's the source of it, really.
And I think what probably helped me with removing it is just that, like, I didn't have empathy for people in a way that I would be the one who was judging people, and so that I was more in a position that I let other people, affect what they say about me. But when I stopped judging myself judging other people by thinking, hang on, everyone is looking through their map of experience. Everyone has gone through some stuff in life, and that's the key understanding that this helped me, just stop the judging of other people, and in the result, I stopped being affected by what other people actually have to say about me. That was actually done this way, So, but yeah,
I like that.
It's good chat. But guys, Tom, Mitchell, thanks so much for joining. Louise Blackmore as well. Yes, would be good to. What question can we ask? What question can you ask? Do you actually the one thing that was important? I think that is summarizing everything. Probably be yourself. Yeah,
that's not quite a good one.
Who here wants to be themselves? Guys, give us some likes, okay? If you think right now that being yourself is just the key. Wait, that are no likes. no one thinks.
They think it is, but...
Yeah. So I think so probably that's how we can wrap up the kind of
Yeah, I think the key thing with people pleasing, self-love, self-worth is already an important stuff, but you need to figure out sometimes, not in a too deep way, you need to figure out why you're people pleasing, because there'll be a reason. There'll be a reason you think that way. Something must have happened, or a pattern of behaviour you've managed to slip into. And knowledge is power at the end of the day. And with my own journey coming from thinking I was basically worth nothing to where I am today, came from a lot of self-discovery and just trying to to see where it all began, really.
Yeah.
And it's normally childhood, isn't it? Always, every single time.
Always.
And my issues with weight and stuff is purely based on that. But you know, it's just respecting. You just got to respect it. I've got to respect that's already. It's already happened now. You know, I've got to deal with it. And yeah, I'm 33 now, and I'm still doing it. But I need to have enough self-respect. And they always say about acceptance as well. Accept the things that you may believe are your best traits, but you just need to. Oh, 2 likes. You need to just accept. I'm rubbish at accepting. So if I have anxiety from time to time, so I'm not having a panic attack. What you're supposed to do is accept it's there. Okay, I have a panic attack. Hello, panic attack. How are you? Good to see you. I know why you're here because I'm overworking.
Awareness,
and off you go. But I tend to try and fight it. Oh no, there's a panic attack. It's just going to make you worse. You just have to accept it in that moment. There is a reason you're having a panic attack, and for me, it's because I'm overworking. So I need to step out, take a breather, and just say to myself, "That's what's happening."
When you remove comparison, are you replacing it with a type of focus in your thought? Type of focus in your thought life? I would imagine. Let me think.
That's a good one, Lynette. Very good. Let's look at it.
Yeah, Lynette, you know what? Like I said, like comparison was like a huge thing, and I think the more you compare yourself, the further away you are from who you are. Something that actually transitioned me a lot, and you know the person who, Lynette, you know Warren Ryan. Actually, over 1 month ago, maybe a couple of months ago, I just was listening to one of his webinars, and he almost like encouraged me to visit the time in my life where my limiting beliefs were born. And I managed to link basically, you know, certain situations from childhood that make me believe less, that I am less. And then only once I faced this past, only once I dealt with this inner child in me that was literally crying, that was searching for worth, and only until I managed to parent myself. So for think that, gosh, yeah, I'm the girl that, you know, when she was like 5 years old, she had something that she's not worthy, she doesn't deserve to win, she doesn't deserve success, she is not enough. Only when I literally deliberately visited my inner child, which obviously hurt and which was very, you know, emotional, but only from that point I was able to see my worth, you know, even in the bigger picture. So, and this, I think, enabled me to just appreciate myself more, you know, just see the respect for myself as something that is completely not related to what other person has to say about me. And also, you know, at the end of the day, there is a lot of logic as well, because I'm this kind of logical person, you know. So for me, things have to make sense. So I would say is that, like, I don't know.
I think what Lynette's saying there, which is quite interesting, about a life you would want to imagine. That's where you're going down the goal setting route, where you want to be, and everything you do every day leads to that moment. So if you're thinking you spend your whole time comparing yourself to other people, it's going to slow you down. It's going to stop you making choices and decisions that are going to get you where you want to be. Because if you're comparing, you're probably not going to take as many risks. And that's what I've done when I built the Heroes Company, is where do I want it to be? And I want it to be in every country in the world. I want it to be in America. I want to be speaking on big stages to the members and all the good work we're doing. That is where I want to be. And if I'm spending my whole time at home worrying about every decision I'm making, what someone thinks of it, I'm not going to make the decision at all, because I'm so worried about what they're going to think of it. So actually, people pleasing on a personal level for me is in there. But when I goal set or I have a plan, I never divert from it. It's the one time I'm untouchable. So that's my armour at that point, I guess. So definitely, if you've got goal setting, plans for your future, and you know that you have to make a change, it works really well.
So that would be an affirmation. I have enough, for example. Yes, I think affirmations. Lynette, we live in the world of affirmations. Some people like it, some people hate it. Some people benefit from it, but it can hurt some people. You need to see how you are responding to affirmations. I don't think this is universal solution for everyone. So
they say that. They say that affirmation's not necessarily always going to be the fail-safe, I guess.
You know what, I think, if I can just mention, I would go back to what I said, Lynette, earlier, that for me, it was first thinking, where is the I am not enough coming from? Like logically. Well, any sort of limiting beliefs are born at the earlier stage of our life, yeah? Because that's where they are coming from. So you need to think like, okay, how I have been living my life, what has happened maybe in the past to me, you know, like what maybe I had that I was carrying on for, you know, 30 years in my life. And then only from that point you need to start telling yourself different story. That's actually the key, because I am not enough is nothing else than telling yourself the story that, well, I'm not deserving this, I am not good enough for being an international speaker, I am not this or that, right? For example. But if you are aware of how limiting and disempowering it is, you can then decide, that's a simple decision at one point, at the end of the day, that, hang on, I want to change this story. So instead of thinking that, oh my God, my mom told me I'm not enough and I felt it's not enough, I'm making decision that, well, hang on, I can do it, and you know, you can. So like I said, it is, for me, it is self-talk rather than affirmations. But you need to, I think, find a way.
Inner dialogue will be the thing that makes you or breaks you. Like they say this a lot about reality. So we're both looking out the window right now, but how we perceive that there is different depending on what we tell ourselves about it.
Yeah,
you know,
depending on map of experience. So for example, I could say, if someone asks us tomorrow, you know, oh, what did you see behind the window? I would describe totally different picture, really, from my own thing than you know, because we see things. So inner dialogue, you just, well, we would like to give you like 1, 2, 3, boom. There is no comparison. But actually, you know that best things in life happen via evolution, not revolution. You know that. So the more you give yourself chance, respect and love in giving yourself space, giving yourself me time, and not hustling like crazy. But seriously, you need to put yourself first at the end of the day and not feeling guilty for it. That's the starting point. You need to think, I deserve, I want to fill my glass. I want to fill my glass.
Spill some.
Yeah, so only when you fill your glass, how cheesy is that? But seriously, you can then obviously give, whatever, you can actually give away. Is that not a that sense? Yes, self-love. Self-love.
Yeah, and feeling worthy, feeling that you're worthy of anything. Sometimes that's the hardest one, is saying I deserve this, or I'm worthy of this, or you know, that's sometimes a really difficult thing to master, I think.
Okay, cool. Well, I think that was a nice chat.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that we could probably chat because it's there's never ending really.
The amount of conversations I've had with people for hours on end about this, and it's been going on for years now. Pick up new things every time. But that's good, because then we're growing. As talking today, we're going to grow a little bit from what we said. So
yeah, definitely.
Perfect.
So guys, thanks so much for tuning. We will leave links below, because I'm sure that many of you watching right now will want to find out a little bit more about this amazing mission that Owen has got, and the great platform for World Health Heroes, and becoming the hero. Hey?
Yeah, join us. Join the Hero family.
Yeah, absolutely. So lots of love, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good afternoon. Bye.